Be healthy and take care of yourself, but be happy with the beautiful things that make you you.
Wait, did you hear that? Did you hear that? I can hear the intro music. It's fading out, and now the names are appearing by us. Let's start the podcast here and cut out all that sexist stuff we just said about women not being able to do quotes.
The truth always seems crazy in a world full of lies. Kanye West.
That's a proper fucking quote. There we go. Let's fucking go. Who still likes him? It's probably a couple. There's probably a lot of people, to be fair. I was gonna say there's probably a couple people. No, it's definitely a lot.
Welcome to the podcast, guys. This is episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's still listening.
Is anybody out there? That should be the title of the fucking podcast, bro. Is anybody out there? Please comment something. Now we be getting comments, just like a couple on everyone. We're still small though, but you know what? We have had some success on TikTok. Tiniest one video did well.
We've had success.
It's better than nothing, man. It's better than nothing. I nearly didn't even make that TikTok because I was like, they've all been doing so bad. I can't be bothered. And then I did, and they got 100k views, which is good. That's what we need, man. We need more of that.
Okay, let's make a clip right now to get on TikTok.
Okay, go. You do it.
Okay, well, I need to give me a topic.
When a black woman speaks, you shut up and listen.
Why?
You're meant to do like a positivity rant or something, so we can get.
Nah, bro, I was hoping you'd say something else. Like, God, say again.
What? A new thing that you can talk about? You don't want to do that one?
You can say a similar thing, mate, but you can say whatever. Just say it.
When a black king speaks, we all should listen.
I agree.
Yeah, but not the women. So the problem is the women, I think. We're rarely going after. We're getting after it already today. If you're a woman listening to this, screw you.
You said the woman one. I said why. You said the man one. I agreed straight away.
Yeah. So sexism knows no bounds. Wait, no, is that what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, bro.
It doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are. It only matters what your gender is.
I agree.
What a positive message. Guys, we're joking. We don't randomly hate people. No, we are joking. That's crazy. People out there rarely just be hating people. What's the fucking point, man? What is the point?
I don't know.
What's
I don't be
the
doing
point
that,
of
so
all
that? I don't know their justification for why they do it.
You just got to be like a hollow, empty, just shell of a human. If you're just seething with hate all the time. I get if you're horny all the time, but if you're hateful all the time, just get a life, dude. That's all I'm. Okay,
right.
You're the one in control of this podcast, right? I'm too fucking tired, man.
I'm also tired, bro. I'm sat here looking at the screen, just blankly staring.
No, wake up! It's podcast time. Come on.
Right.
Man.
What's your topic for the week, man?
Okay, wait. Let me line this up properly. You know when you're playing fucking pool, when you need to line the shot up? That's what I need to do right now so we can get something out of this. I went to Starbucks the other day, right? And
Why?
I knew you were going to say that. My sister wanted to get...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see? It's always the woman's fault. We've established this already in the start of this podcast. My sister wanted to get a Too Good To Go bag. So, I'm not bougie enough. I'm not rich enough that I just be going to Starbucks. I'm not spending, £8 on a coffee or something stupid.
Sugar. It's not even...
Yeah, it's
coffee.
barely even caffeinated. It won't wake you up. It will just give you diabetes. I'm not doing it. Ridiculous. Terrible trade-off. But I agreed to go get a Too Good To Go bag, which is basically, for people that don't know, is at the end of the day, the stuff that's going to go out of date. Sometimes certain shops agree to just stick it in a bag and let you have it so you can eat it. It might even be expired already.
A discounted price.
Yeah, for way cheaper.
No, they can't give you an expired product. Then they would get sued. But
no, anyway, I don't know. I don't know if it's expired, but it's nearly.
It's going
expired.
out of date that day, basically.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And so we pull up to Starbucks. I go in, and I took a picture of this because I found it rarely funny. It's not funny, but it just made me think. it made me think, right? It was a sign on the wall at Starbucks that said 99% of our coffee beans are sourced ethically. That got me thinking, what the hell are they doing to that 1%? You know? It got me thinking. It's like companies can just promote, like 99% of the time, we're ethical. But it's just like, I found it funny that 1%, you know, that like Starbucks just has a shotgun to this poor farmer's head and they're like whipping him. Like, give us your fucking beans. But you know how big Starbucks is? That's a lot of coffee that they're unethically sourcing. I know it's 1%, but that's a big company, man. And it just made me think, like, as a society, we're like, that's fine. It's only a little bit. So my question to you is 1% of slavery okay?
Bro, it hit me with the is slavery okay topic.
I don't know. We always seem to bounce around these sort of topics, so it's all the fucking same. It's all the same. But no, it just it made me laugh. So like 1%, as a society, we agree 1% of unethically sourced. Like this guy's getting 50 lashings to give us these cocoa beans, but it's only 1% of the time, so it's fine.
Cocoa beans, mate. You do realize coffee beans and cocoa beans are different, right?
Yeah, I'm fucking tired. Give me a break. You know what I mean? Holy fuck. Coffee beans.
Oh, I don't know, mate. I wouldn't say it's okay. No, just. What I will say, this is, bro, we're already going to go off in a tangent because this is just how it works in every podcast. Slavery is still around, sadly.
It did.
It's always been around.
It did make me think. You know, there's those people that are like, if slavery was around today, I would not be happy with that. And then we all go into Starbucks and we look at the sign. It's like, oh, 99% ethically sourced. No one ever thinks about the 1%. You know, no one. It's like, oh, if slavery wasn't around. If slavery was around, we wouldn't be happy with that. They go into Starbucks and there's a big sign on the wall that says 1% of our coffee is practically given to us by slaves. And they take that mocha and they drink it and they enjoy it and they don't even give it second thought, you know.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because the slaves don't have TikTok. Give the slaves TikTok. Let them post them being sad and crying and you will see a revolution, mate. That is what you need. They need social media. You need to get the people riled up. No one knows about them right now. Give them a phone.
But who's paying to give them a phone? I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that either.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. No one's doing that. No one. That's the thing. People are like, oh, if there was injustice in the world, I would fight for it. No, you fucking wouldn't. Most of us just are too blind by like our daily life to even notice that. To even notice there's a sign on the wall that's telling you bad shit is still happening, and you're gonna enable it by buying this coffee. You know.
What's funny is that they put that sign up to begin with. They were like, you know what, this is gonna bang. 99%.
I know. It's a good stat. It's like they're clearly proud of it, right? But like, I just looked at it and I was like, wait a minute, that still means there's some terrible shit happening, but we're just like, good for you, Starbucks. 99, what a number.
As I'm gonna say, man, slavery's been around since, I don't know, probably humans have capacity to think and do stuff. And it's still around to this day, and people for some reason just think it's completely gone because they think the only time it happened was like a few hundred years ago in like the USA type stuff. Because for some reason they just don't know any of history.
Yeah.
And if they really knew that what was happening in the world, they would know that it's been happening for centuries in other continents before it ever reached America, you know?
Imagine being the guy, you know, we made the joke at the last podcast. Yeah, that's like the first guy to turn down nonce a child for free was a genius. Imagine being the guy that come up with slavery. Was he considered a genius, or was people like, what are you talking about? And then the money started coming and they're like, I see the vision.
Money motivated.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
No, he's He's there and he's trying to explain his idea to them. They're like, "You're a fucking awful person. What are you doing?" He's like, "Hold on. Give me 10 years. Let me cook." And then 10 years later, I bet they was all doing that, man.
And then bro got someone else to cook for him while he stood there.
Yeah. They let him cook
Okay.
and they never had to cook again, man. Okay, we're on thin ice already, man. How long? How long? 15
not on
minutes.
thin ice,
15 minutes.
I just-
That's record time.
I just wanted to say, man, we're not on thin ice, okay? We've been. It's a difficult topic to get into, and it's an awful thing that happens. But
And we're trying to make light
of
of
it. Has been
it.
around, and it is still around to this day. But for some reason, people just try to forget about it because it's not happening in like I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
happening
like
in
a
the
public
mainstream.
scale.
Yeah, and it's not. The big players in the world aren't using it, apart from probably China. But it's funny when they do it.
We're not going to mention the countries, mate. We might get taken out at this point. But let's just say certain countries in Asia and Africa are definitely still doing it. So let's just say that.
You know, you said last time we should do podcast in Pakistan. We should do podcast in the Sheen factory in China,
Mate.
where they make microphones.
The smog won't be able. You won't be able to see us on camera.
I don't know what you're even talking about right now. The smog?
Just got to wear a gas mask.
Oh, right. Meanwhile, there's children running around behind us with no protective gear.
Yeah.
And we're going in like a
different.
Chernobyl. Yeah. Well, they're not. That's why they all die.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
They're slaves, so it's okay.
Wait, if the first thing, we go into the factory, we don't even mention how it's bad, we just start the podcast up,
Yeah. Jesus.
Just know, like, no, we'll try to help you out now, we're just like...
Okay, 17 minutes in, can we now admit we're on thin ice? Please.
Nah, bro, we're never on thin ice.
No? Okay.
You're only on thin ice if you want to be, man.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Like, I don't think cancel culture is like... I don't think it's real if you're, like, rich. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it depends. What is your source of income?
Yeah, but, like, no, if you have money anyway... Like, yeah, like, say, famous TV guy gets cancelled. Let's say Bryan Cranston. Turns out he... I don't know, what's something that will get you cancelled? He shouted...
He says the N-word and slaps a little kid.
Yeah, he slaps a young black child and calls him the N-word.
Who also happens to like other people of his own gender.
Yeah. Let's say he did that. He's like already rich. So like yeah, he'll never get any jobs again. Like boo-hoo, he can just move to the south of France, you know, and live good. You know, and like I'm sure like in some places in the world he'd still be able to get an acting job, just not in like America or like the UK. But I'm sure like I don't know, he could go to Thailand to get like a multi-million-dollar deal. Admittedly in Thai money that's probably about 5p. But like, you know, he could still make money, I think. I don't think it like but if you're up and coming,
he could do well in Bollywood, you know.
Yeah, you could do numbers, bro. But if you're like up and coming and your income is the like social media type of thing, I think yeah, then it's like a threat. So to us, I think it's a pretty big threat. But then again, if you're not like banned off the platform or shadow banned, it's not like you can have people not like you.
There's a threat to a certain extent, but like you know, I mean, what I will say, there's an audience for everything. I don't think we're like extremists, but there's extremists on like every platform and they still have an audience. So you got to think there's some people that say crazy stuff. And you know, there's definitely a few people on YouTube that you could pull up that say some crazy stuff. And they still get views. And
the difference is they mean it. You know, when we say crazy stuff, we don't mean it. Like I've never...
Sometimes...
No, I can't laugh. Be a real though. We'd never make jokes and mean it. You know that again. That's crazy to me. That someone would like, I don't know, do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like when I don't think.
But then it's not a joke, is it? That's the whole point.
Yeah, then you're just
I guess to them it's not a joke. That's
spreading
just
your
them.
beliefs and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I don't think I put that across enough in my videos that like everything I say in a video like is me like joking. Well, not everything, but like 85%, but that line is like blurred because like like you are kind of acting when you're doing like a YouTube video. But like it's like to what extent do you play into this like person who's gonna make these jokes if they're like a character. But even if it's not what you completely believe, if there's a banger joke, you want to make it. So it's like a weird blurred line that I'm sometimes scared that people won't like realize, and they'll take things that I say at face value and think I'm a massive piece of shit. But I'm just trying to make a joke about like I don't know anything, but it might be remote. It like might be slightly offensive to some people. It's certainly scary
offensive to some people, mate.
Yeah, but I mean,
like,
you know what I mean.
I get people like comment on my videos and stuff, and sometimes I cover topics and stuff that are like more polarizing and stuff, and like people are gonna have some sort of opinion on it, which way, good or bad, and like. I'll get people that are like, oh my god, how could you say this? You should let people be what they are and have their own opinion. But you're literally commenting that on my opinion of something, or like a joke of something. So aren't you just counteracting yourself already with this argument?
Yeah, it's certainly like...
You're not allowed to say what you want to say, but you should let other people have their opinion.
Yeah, certainly is like circular reasoning,
thing?
don't you think? Because then you're saying you can only say, you can have an opinion as long as it's my opinion, which is not an opinion.
Exactly.
But yeah,
as long as your opinion aligns with mine, it's fine. But as if it doesn't, if it counteracts it, we've got trouble.
It's definitely like a ridiculous way of thinking about the world. I'm sure there's people that think like that, but that's I don't think that's how you should do it at all.
There's a lot of people that think that way.
Yeah, but I feel like the nature of the videos you make, you're more likely to get clicks from people who think like that. Because, they see something that is like an affront to their freedom, but all you're saying is, I don't think zoophiles should have sex with dogs, And then there's some people that will be like, that's a like straw person fallacy, what I just did. But my point still stands, I suppose. But there's certainly some people.
For example, on those zoophile videos, for example, I've literally had people comment like, "You should let people do what they want." I'm like thinking, "Yeah, mate, I can't stop them. I can't physically go up to every single one and stop the act happening, but I can still say what I think about it."
Yeah. But like again, you're only getting, you're going to get a high percentage of zoophiles that watch that video. Because it is targeted at them, so it does make sense, but yeah, the whole...
It's funny, man. It's funny how, like, it works, I mean, you could just say anything. As I said, someone will just undoubtedly get offended because you said it a different way than they would have said it. About any topic.
Yeah.
Anyway... do you want to see my reel of the week? My post of the week. It's not real.
What a sudden change, but I'm down for it. Yeah, let's go, man.
I think we should get off this rambling we're going through. So
I mean, that's like what a podcast is, isn't it? We talk. Enough of this boring shit that we're talking about. let's just watch Instagram. Let's go on Instagram, guys. What is this reel of the week? I'm here for this, man. I'm here for this.
It's not a reel. It's a post.
Okay, and we're gonna read it. Awesome. I love reading.
Read it. Yes. It's not a very long post, so it's fine.
Okay.
I have two posts to choose from. So.
Do I get to say A or B?
Which one should I do? Yeah. So A or B? Which one would you like?
A.
Okay.
God,
get ready.
Was B like someone twerking and A is like some boring political...
They're both posts.
Okay.
This is gonna bound to get someone offended, though.
Okay. I mean, at least it's relevant somewhat to the conversation before.
Exactly. I'll just read it out because there's no point posting it because it's just words anyway.
Okay.
Toddler kicked out of nursery for being transphobic. Child suspended from state school for abuse against sexual orientation and gender identity. Department for Education data shows. A toddler was suspended from nursery after being accused of being transphobic or homophobic. That's all we got from it.
I feel like this is just rage bait, man. That can't be real. You can't, bro. I'm so tired, and you've thrown the most political reel of the week we've ever had at me. Come on, bro.
What do you mean?
That is the most like.
No, I'm gonna find the article right now. Yeah, I found it. Okay. Okay.
Who's this published by? This has got to be some like.
No, but what I'm the Telegraph. I don't know what that is.
No, this has been published by the Taliban to promote fucking disagreement in the West, and in hopes that we collapse, bro. Because this is just fucking ridiculous. Like what? Everyone
What
with a
I'm
brain
saying
agrees
is-
this is just stupid. That's enough
No,
said.
what I'm saying is, what's your opinion on this? Because can a toddler grasp the
Concepts
knowledge
of all of that. No.
Yeah, the knowledge
No.
concept of gender
No.
that it can be transphobic.
No. It's
It's
just
like-
such an obvious answer. It's like when you're in school and they ask you some bullshit question like, yo, what do you think there are negative effects on if you get hit in the face 3 times? Use fucking the quadratic formula to answer the question. Like, or do you disagree? It's like there's obviously a fucking answer. I can't be bothered to use the quadratic formula, but the obvious answer is no, bro. Like what?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, I don't know what the situation was, but I'm guessing it was like a boy or a girl. They went, I'm the opposite of what I am, and then he went, no, you're not, and that was it. Bro was expelled. Kicked
I feel
out.
like so there's a couple things to break down. I feel like if a toddler is out there saying that, I get a feeling it's probably because the parents have given the child this like idea, or the kid is just being a kid, and like, you know, when me and you was young, we'd like a girl who acts more like a boy would be called a tomboy. You know, maybe back in the day there was like only one girl in the class who liked football. You know, like
I know what you mean.
You know, yeah. So
I thought
maybe
you were gonna say like me and you back in the day pretending to be girls.
I get like I've probably done that when I was a kid, maybe at some point, you know.
Yeah,
when
but
you're just
I mean,
messing
like
around.
sometimes you're like,
Yeah, and
look at
maybe
me, I'm a horse, like you know.
maybe there was some like stupid woke teacher that was like, I don't know, maybe the kid was just like playing or something, and then the stupid woke teacher heard him use the wrong gender and then expelled him. But then like that's just children being innocent and adults like just chucking their worldviews at them. But like you can't apply those like restrictions and boundaries to children who can't even grasp the fucking concepts. It's ridiculous. You know, let the kids be kids. Like just leave this shit out. But like yeah, it's too open ended to give like a proper like opinion on. Like, is the kid that it like has been affected, quote unquote, by this? Is it like what is it doing? Was it just playing? Was it actually, you know?
Mate, it
like
wants me
being
to
trans?
sign up to read the article, mate. So
So sick, man. So we're not even gonna read the article, but we're talking about it.
Wait.
Yeah, I don't think this is a good one. This ain't it, Chief.
No, this is literally a great one, bro.
No, I don't think
This
so.
is a great one.
Okay, I'll let you.
Okay, the child was 3 or 4 years old, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
How is that happening at a 3 and 4 year old? Department of Education data show the child, age either 3 or 4, was suspended from a state school in 2022/2023 academic year. This just come out, I'm pretty sure, by the way. And further details of the case were not disclosed. So we don't know what happened. The child could have gone insane. He could have just said a few words, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But statistics show that 94 pupils at the state primary schools were suspended or permanently excluded for transphobia or homophobia in 2022
Wait, how many?
slash 23. 94.
And wait, what kind of school is this? How old are these kids?
It says from state primary schools. So up to 11 years old. And 10 of these pupils were from year 1 and 3 from year 2, where the maximum age of that would be 7 years old. So what I'm saying is, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know how these kids even... I don't know, it's just... I feel like this is just like children trying to grasp the concept of like gender dysphoria and them making a few blunders, you know, and then the teachers that are probably left wing have got offended and fired them, but you can't do that if they're learning these things still.
But that's,
you know?
but that's what I'm saying though, like a child, right, especially at that age, but just in general, you go to school and you like learn about stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you're going to learn about gender in school, whatever, but probably nowadays there's some sort of thing going on. But you go there to learn, right? At 6 and 7 years old, you're bound to make mistakes.
Yeah, and what
you're
what better place, by the way, to correct said mistakes, but instead they're sent home? You know?
Yeah.
Like, what better of a place to sit them down and have a conversation and talk about things, but you can't just slap some tape on their mouth and send them home. It's not going to do anything, you know?
No. This is how, like, school shooters become a thing, bro. Like, just put them in a corner, bro. Don't talk to them. Exclude them, you know.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, you know, the school is there so you could, like, learn and grow as a person. But, like, you know, we went to school with different people. We had many different people in school. So does everyone. A lot of different opinions, a lot of different types of things going on. Everyone's different. And everyone's learning and growing. You're bound to make mistakes, even later on in school when you're older. And even nowadays when you're old, you make mistakes. So now imagine going that crazy at a 6 or 7 year old that is bound to not understand these things at all, or understand how he hurts people's feelings or she hurts people's feelings, you know, with words.
Yeah.
And they're just going, you know what? Out of the school, mate. You're not allowed to say that ever again. Instead of going, you know, that's not very good. You should learn, you know, be more compassionate, whatever. No, just exclude them.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes no sense. I think the way, like, say, so like in like in a more adult sense, you know how back in the day I think it's different now, but on Twitter, I mean you can still get banned obviously for like hate speech, but back in the day, like you just get straight up banned and then you can't say anything again. And I saw this guy, I think his name is Daryl Davis, and he's a black guy that got like lots of members from the KKK, like out of the KKK, by just being a super chill, awesome dude, you know? And how we do this is, rather than like blocked, I'm not talking to you anymore, screw you, which is kind of what getting banned on a platform for being hateful or getting excluded from school, which is slightly different circumstance, but similar sort of thing. I'm sure you see what I'm getting at. But he would like open dialogue with them and like try to like just talk to them, you know, because you're never going to get any understanding out of anyone who you never open a dialogue with, ever, because there's going to be no like opportunities for them to learn or for them to elaborate any further other than I hate X, Y, Z, you know? And like him in this circumstance, him speaking to white people who were part of the clan, like he got so many of them were just like, dude, I can't wear this hood because you're literally like the best fucking human that I know. So like, why would I anymore? You know, it's a similar sort of thing. Like, and I think he made his own like social media where hate speech is encouraged because then they wouldn't get banned and it opens opportunities for people to speak. You know, and maybe through that
Yeah.
dialogue, there's some hope. But if you're straight cutting things off, you're not fixing the root cause. You're just, you know, just delaying
Yeah, like,
something. You know,
you
it's
know, everyone has different opinions, you know? And I feel like the worst thing you can do is just completely censor a person out because what's that gonna get you?
yeah, you've
You know,
not solved anything.
like yeah, you could be like an extreme like person on one way and be like, you know what, any person that says they don't mind people that date in their own gender, I'm going to block and never speak to again. Or you could be the other way where if they don't consider that, you're gonna block and do whatever. But what is the if you're just blocking each other out? Where are you gonna go? How is it gonna ever develop?
all that's going to happen is you block each other and then you speak to more people like yourself, you know?
Yeah,
And then you get
you never get other
entrenched in these
views.
ideas and you sort of like lay the lines and just go to war with the other side, which is it's just not productive for anyone.
But that's
It
like,
doesn't help
but
anyone,
that's
you know?
I will say though, that's very common in online nowadays though.
Yeah, you pick a side and then even if like just pick a side and dog on the other one without even thinking about like everything they must say must be wrong. And it's like think,
Yeah,
stop and use your brain. Don't pick a side and brainlessly hate the other one. You know, like me and you,
it's
again, I've said this in past podcasts, we're the only two normal people, which I mean, obviously I'm joking, but we're two people that we don't just like subscribe to a side and just go to
yeah.
war. Like we think about things, which is how everyone should be. But especially social media nowadays is too easy to get wrapped up in just picking a side and brainlessly just marching off, you know?
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, you know, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Like, if you
Yeah,
really
and you're never
think
gonna
about it,
find it,
sometimes.
man, if you're too busy
Yeah,
shooting at each other, you know?
yeah. If you're just if you hang out with people that only think like you to a certain extent, they have a completely zero different opinions, zero different styles or whatever. Like, I don't, you know what I mean, bro? You're just not gonna develop. Like,
I mean,
you're
why
gonna
do
be
you
stuck.
think, like, governments, like, there's always an opposition, you know?
Yeah,
Because, like, one side of the government wants to do this, the other side wants to do it slightly differently. And then the side that's in control, at least in the UK, will do things, and then the other side will get to say, could we not do this slightly differently? And they might make a change that, you know, so you stay, you know, more in like what ultimately is probably the interest of more people, you know? So it just makes more sense to meet somewhere in the middle, not, you know, just throw bombs at each other. It's just ridiculous. But yeah.
I think the article is like what I'm what I get more from the article is that, you know, you can't blame the kids for it, right? You can't blame a kid for being 4 or 5 and saying they're a girl or boy, and you can't blame the other kid for saying no, they're not. What I'm saying is you got to blame the people in control, like in that people that have the power in the system of the school, whatever, just whatever, and just
Because they're
in
the ones
general.
that have drawn the
Yeah,
lines and reacted, you know, and children react to how adults react. So these kids, because of how the adults have blown things out of proportion, might grow up to hate each other now, you know?
exactly. And like one might be one way and the other, but instead of maybe letting them sort it out
Yeah,
themselves, you
maybe
know,
they could have been
maybe they
friends,
just
you
need
know?
a little bit encouragement to sort it out, not just oh you never speak to that person again, you go somewhere else, and you too, and you should hate them because they're mean to you. Like
It does
this is
seem,
what I feel like it's becoming though. I feel like people are just going more and more like
it's
you know
divisive.
away from each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's super
exactly.
divisive. And yeah, which is not the way at all. I mean,
No.
basically already stated our cases, but it just seems, you know, counterintuitive to everybody's best interest, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah, does not make much sense at all. Hey, man,
Basically,
me and you should be
what
education ministers. Let's go. Let's
I
run
agree.
for president, bro.
I agree. Kids can say whatever they want.
I mean, yeah, that's how it should
do
be,
it.
though. That's how it. That's not even a joke. That's how it should be. People should say whatever they want, and then if people disagree, we should sit down and talk like humans. You know.
But let's be honest, like humans, we say that, but like let's be honest,
most of us are just.
Has that ever worked?
Yeah, that's true. And most people online
are
just barking like dogs. I don't know if they're talking like humans, but that's what it seems like. It's...
Also, what I really don't like about things nowadays, and I guess for a long time in terms of history, you need to make your own opinions. Okay, this is what I like really struggle with. People need to make their own opinions, right? I feel like me and you, for example, I feel like we have our own opinions. We've learned a thing or two. Like, we've heard things from different sides, different points of view. Why is there people out there that instead of trying to formulate their own opinion by getting all this information in and basing it off what they think is best, they just close their eyes, spin around, pick a side, and just go with that, and just never look back. And like, they don't even know what they're saying. They're just following everyone else. That's what I don't get.
Oh no, we're getting really quite deep now, and I prefer just being like haha making jokes. But I think
Bro doesn't want to go deep. He doesn't like going deep.
No, I don't know. It's not really. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't fit with my image that I've put myself
it doesn't
in.
fit.
But I feel like a lot of that is more of like a social thing with like, I don't know, like lots of people are influenced in so many ways that you don't even realize. You know, you do not even realize how, you know, advertisements and how different like newspapers and articles are like financed by different parties with, you know, contradicting like ideas and what they want to plant into your head. So it is very hard to, you know, like I can see how some people can get swept away in all of it because it's designed to sweep everyone away, you know.
Yeah,
so,
that's like,
and
I
also
guess,
like the opinions
I know
that
what you
we
mean,
form, you might think it's like, you know, the meme where it's like, oh, so-called free thinkers, but like it's really easy to think that you're thinking like in such a way, but you're actually being like manipulated by, you know, things that you can't even like see, because so many people, like, we're not educated on that sort of thing, like how to spot like when a certain bit of text you're reading is trying to like radicalize you in ways that you don't even know about, so you're everyone's sort of defenseless against it. But I can see how people get swept up, you know?
I agree with you. Sometimes, like,
and I also think
you
that
know,
me and we probably are, definitely have been and will be in the future victims of that too. So it's kind of hard to sit and preach when we're all human, you know.
What I'm saying is, like, maybe instead of going straight into like fight or flight mode, whatever, just maybe try and hear people out a little bit more, you know.
Yeah, but
like that's
literally
that's what I think.
You know the problem with what you just said. You've just said, rather than us as humans and animals, we should not use the only two things that we've been given by nature. You know, it's like we're designed to fight. We're designed to flight. We're not designed to diplomacy. You know, we're not designed to sit down and talk. You know.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing though. But like, that's what makes humans different. But I feel like a lot of the times we just base it off
it's wasted.
Our, like,
it's wasted.
Animalistic instincts. You know. Like, we just go off like, I'll just get angry at this. I'll just be upset at this. I'll just be happy at this. Like, instead of like maybe thinking, you know, like sometimes I sit here and I see like different articles pop up, and like, oh, it'll mention this group, how like they're doing this and that, and then this article mentioned this group and that, and you just got to think. Sometimes I sit back and think, I can't let these things influence me too much, because these are written by people who are clearly always have a side. I mean, like, even us talking, we say we're somewhat, we take both sides into consideration. Of course, there's always going to be differences. Like, you might take one thing that I wouldn't take from someone speaking, you know?
Mm.
Everyone's different is what I'm saying, and you can't start... What I think the main point of this is you shouldn't try and censor everyone and everything.
Yeah, definitely
And
not.
just listen to people.
Mm.
Anyway, let's cheer it up with your reel of the week.
I forgot what mine even was. Let me see. Let me see here. Oh no. This is my reel of the week. Is kind of a bit of news. An American YouTuber was arrested in India after visiting, I think it's called Sentinel Island. You know the island where it's like an uncontacted tribe?
Right.
And he tried to leave them a can of Diet Coke. How did you even get there, bro? Like, that's kind of crazy. And he apparently he was stood on the beach like with a whistle for like 20 minutes trying to get their attention. Like, dude, if they come out of those woods, they're going to eat you. What are you doing? They don't care about Coca-Cola.
All I'll say is that I'm surprised he was able to survive because the tribe didn't notice he was there.
They definitely, he easily could have died. And he could have given them, like, COVID-19, you know, and just killed them all. So, smart one, dickhead, you know, what the hell are you doing?
When does doing things for the views have a line that you should not cross? You know?
Next Mr. Beast video, I dropped 16 people on North Sentinel Island. We're going to see who doesn't get eaten and who doesn't give them a generational disease that's going to kill all of them. Let's go. Bro's probably going to buy it. How much to buy North Sentinel Island? That's what I'm asking.
Mr. Beast
if
drops
India
the
gets in
24-hour
financial
challenge.
trouble, bro. If India gets in financial trouble, I'll buy that island for $5 and we'll make some banging videos off it, bro. Or some cool titles you could have. This island is worse than Epstein Island.
Yeah.
If there's
surviving
one
24 hours
on North Sentinel Island.
surviving 24 hours in North Central Island.
Honestly, that video would bang, but I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that.
Bang, though.
I'll pay someone else to do
Well,
it.
he was there for 5 minutes and he got arrested, so I don't know if we're going to be able to do 24 hours.
The only way you don't get arrested is if you got to run into the forest and hide, because no one's gonna, no one following you on, bro.
But then you have to get back out without them seeing you.
That's the impossible challenge. Mission Impossible.
You're saying it's an impossible challenge, but it's not impossible. But now you're making me think.
I
If
could
you
do
trained
that.
hard
I could do
enough, if you, not maybe not me, but you know what I'm saying. If I dedicated my time to it, maybe.
Let's do a podcast on North Sentinel Island, bro. Let's do a podcast
With the
there.
tribesmen. With the tribesmen.
Like, what do you think about this? He's like, dun 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 dun. Okay, it's like nice, bro. Good for you. What do you
say
think?
that, bro. We ain't gonna have a chance to start the podcast, bro. We'd be their dinner.
Nah, you know what you could do? Fuck Mr. Beast. You go there with like your little iPhone mic.
Fuck Mr. Beast. What, on the island? Just
No. You go there with your little iPhone mic, and then you know them people that do like street interviews. We do that with them. Every time you hold the mic to them, they're just like.
You realise I can't see you, mate.
No, I'm just clicking my mouth. Every time you hold the mic to them, they're just like do 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 do. Like they just speak a language nobody else on the planet understands.
They'll probably try to eat the phone, bro.
Yeah. What do you think about that? He just starts doing a little dance, you know.
Bro's like.
You go.
And what's your opinion?
You go up to him and like, what is your opinion on Donald Trump's new tariffs on the global market? And he's just like, he starts doing a little dance, you know. That one,
Bro.
That's so funny, bro.
You know what's crazy though is that you'd be like, make that video and like 3 days later, like the population of Sentinel Island has decreased to 0 after an outbreak of disease.
Yeah.
And it's like your fault. You got that vlog sat there waiting to finish editing. You're like, should I release?
Yeah, that's
That's
a dilemma, bro. Do I drop the vlog and reveal why there's no more people on this island, or do I just? I don't know, but you probably just get banned from India, so win-win, kinda. You know? No, would you go to jail in like the UK if you accidentally like?
Nah, you're getting sent to them Indian jails, bro. Nah, you ain't surviving.
Yeah, well, I'd probably die of the food poisoning anyway, so.
Yeah, just like the tribes people would if you gave them Diet Coke.
You're saying it's just as bad as being the tribes person getting exposed to that disease as if you're like an Englishman going to India. It's the same thing.
No, what I'm saying is, mate,
with the diarrhea.
they've never had a... They've never had a fizzy drink, mate, in their whole life. They've been eating plants and fish. And you come up there, like, you know, slap this thing, this fizzy, bubbly drink with sweetness inside that they've never had. They're going to go crazy and berserk.
Their stomach's going to do the same thing as if we tried one of them Indian street food vendors, bro. It's the same thing.
It would. It would.
It's the same shit. The same level.
Maybe this guy was actually just doing a social experiment, mate.
Yeah. Would you rather spend...
Maybe before this video.
Okay, this is a crazy question. Would you rather spend... Like, I'm not... India, cool place, amazing culture. But all the travel vlogs I've seen there, like in the busy places, it looks so claustrophobic. I'd rather not, if I'm being honest.
The beeping, bro. The beeping.
Yeah. Every single travel vlog I've seen, unless you go to like the there are super nice, rich places, right, where it's like not overcrowded, but in all the like vlogs I've seen where like the regular people live, it's so overcrowded. Would you rather spend 1,000 days there or one night on Sentinel Island?
One night on Sentinel Island, mate. 1,000 days is 3 years, mate. I ain't doing that.
So you would rather risk your life than spend 3 years in India? You'd rather potentially die than get the strongest stomach known to man?
Also potentially die. Like, what am I... Let's be honest. What am I doing to survive in India?
You
am
just
I still
work
making
in like
YouTube videos and
no,
just
you
chilling?
just work in like a little shop.
Nah, I'm alright, mate. I'll take my chances, you know.
And you get a banger vlog, so fair enough.
Yeah, I take my chances for 24 hours over 3 years.
I don't think you're surviving though, bro. Imagine how terrifying that would be. You wake up and there's a little man doing a little boogie.
You need to have enough money for the operation to begin with, you know, like get some scuba gear, like...
It's literally the forest, bro. It's literally the forest. The game. It's literally the forest. I think if I do 3 playthroughs of that game, I'm sorted.
Yeah,
I think I can
we
survive.
start building a hut with them and everything, mate.
Yeah, man.
Mate, how sick would it be if you're just sat there uploading vlogs and you're still on the island just chilling with them?
Yeah, no.
Because
turns
no
out they're
you.
super chill. Turns out they're super chill, right? And then you're like, can you guys like chase me for this video? So I can pretend that like you guys are hunting me down. They're like, click, click, clock, clock, yeah. And they get their spears out. And they're like chasing you.
No, but what I'm saying
and
is,
then you're
once
sat
you're
down
on there,
uploading it. You're sat down uploading it. Like, how do you think I can make this TikTok like more, more appeal? They're like, do.
What I'm saying is, yeah, you're sat there chilling. No one can come get you. If you're friends with them, you're staying there, right? You're staying there. You're fine. They're not allowed to come get you because they're not supposed to step foot on the island. So now you're safe.
Yeah, and if they're super chill, just get the Wi-Fi password off them, and then you're chilling. You know, like yo, bro. What's your Wi-Fi password?
Do they have Do you think they have was it Starlink?
Yeah, I think they do, man. I think they do. You know, one day we're gonna go on Snap Maps, and there's gonna be a fucking Snap story on Sentinel Island. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Who's down there? It's just one of them. Like new number. Who's this?
To be fair, I will say, I'm surprised this guy it's taken this long for someone to go like try and make a YouTube video.
I think so. Apparently, someone tried it in 2018, and they were killed and possibly like eaten. Also, I know one other human like was in a little fishing boat and he fell asleep and his boat drifted too close and they like shot arrows up and killed him. So like they have, I mean, understandably have potential to be violent because imagine you don't know what anything is. Like you're basically in the Stone Age and you see like a proper fishing boat.
You go there.
You'd be like, what the fuck?
Imagine you go there. You somehow don't initially die.
Mm-hmm.
Are you like...
Are we talking about India or North Sentinel?
North Sentinel, mate.
Okay.
North Sentinel. So, you go there. Are you like a god to them? Are you like the worst person ever? Like...
You're just
what's going on with that?
You're just some weird fucking guy with a really bad sunburn. And you're probably a fresh cut of meat. I think they'd eat you. I don't think they'd give a shit. They'd obviously be able to notice that you are a human, I wouldn't think they think you're a god. You know?
No, but yeah, maybe not a god, but like, are they thinking
You
like,
could definitely trick them
wow,
into
this-
thinking you're a god if you did like a drone light show upon arrival.
Yeah,
They'd be like, "Oh my god, like this is him. This is the guy." You know?
yeah. What I'm saying is, like, you parachute in, they're gonna be like, oh my god, this guy can fly.
I don't know, but they've seen birds. They're not gonna like. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Man.
but exactly, they've seen birds, but they've never seen a human fly.
Yeah, but you're obviously using like a tool in order to do it. So I don't.
But you gotta think you've never seen that before. This is like. Also, if they ain't chill, take a spliff with you and start handing it out. What's going on?
We're assuming diseases aren't a thing in this scenario, because otherwise that
Just for like, let's just say they lasted 24 hours for the YouTube vlog at least. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sure they would chill out after a while. You know, speaking of
dream?
YouTube, I think
dream
we're thinking about the wrong industry here. What would Bonnie Blue do if she got on that island?
Why is it always funny?
Because it's just easy jokes every time. What would Bonnie Blue do? How would she
conga line waiting to go into Bonnie Blue?
Bro, in like 3 centuries time, there's gonna be like inscriptions on like the stones that one time Bonnie Blue pulled up, and the whole village was happy as fuck for like 3 weeks. The whole village was ecstatic.
They're definitely getting a disease if Bonnie Blue went up.
Yeah, they're finished, bro. It's not inscribed on the rocks.
No, but listen,
catastrophe.
Listen, bro. Bonnie Blue could birth the first North Sentinel baby out of the island,
That's a big story, bro. That's a huge
big story.
Yeah, man.
Huge story.
That's all I gotta say about it. I don't know.
You think they got big dicks or not?
I don't know.
Like-
Let me Google. I mean, they're probably of a similar like.
Did you say let me Google it? Sorry.
No. But they're probably of a similar genetic code to the like countries near them. So like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, that sort of like. Probably more similar around then. So what's the average size around there?
Nah, it's not looking good for them. Bonnie Blue's not even gonna feel it.
Oh, what? You guys suck, bro. I'm sorry, but what is this, India? Oh, wait, no. I thought it said 4.2. That's average flaccid. Average hard is 5.1. Still pretty shit. What's average UK? What? What is this graph, dude, that I've just found? Average penis size in inches.
How have we got from North Sentinel Island?
No, I've just found a graph. This is bullshit, by the way. Average penis size in inches. Like Portugal 5.9. You're happy with that? I mean, not really you. Massive cock over here, but like on general, not terrible. Spain 3.5. France 5.4. UK 2.7.
Nah, I take that because I agree, bro. I agree with that.
Sweden 10.1. Finland 11.8. The Swedes are tall. They're not. There's no way. Fuck off. Bosnians 7.3. Serbians 4. That's gonna start another war in the Balkans, bro. That's just gonna start another war in the Balkans.
Never take your girl to Sweden or Bosnia.
Never.
Bro.
Germany 6.1. Commendable. Poland 2.5. They're not having that. Belarus 1.3. Accurate. Russia 1.6. Accurate. Turkey 0.9. Accurate.
Now we're just discussing is it accurate or not.
Luxembourg 25.1.
Bro, every time they pass out, every time they get hard, bro.
Luxembourg 25.1 on average. Oh my, lads holiday
is this your
to
new
Luxembourg.
topic of the week? Is this your new topic of the week?
This is the new topic of the week. Okay, lowest is apparently Ukraine and Turkey. Moldova 0.6. Who made this? Who made this?
Is this just Europe?
Yeah, only Europe I've got here. No data on the Vatican. I'm sure. Ask a couple children in the area, they'll tell you. Austria 7.3.
was trying to search this up, and I put penis size, right? As the first bit. The only thing it suggested me is penis size, increase age.
I've had
Now,
a
I'm
12
also
inches
curious,
since
what
I was a
age-
kid.
at
I've had a 12 inches
at
since
what
I was
age?
10. 12 since 12. 12 since 12.
Bro, there's some good news.
What?
In rare cases, some may continue to grow in their early 20s.
I wouldn't like that. It'd just be too barbaric. It'd be too monstrous. You know? It's like me and you are quite tall. Not to flex, massive cocks, massive men over here. But I just, I don't want to, I want to get smaller. Turn me into a Southeast Asian as I grow old.
Why?
I'm happy with that. Because, bro, those fuckers, they're like 70. They're still nimble and active. You know? Big people with big dicks die early. People that are tall and lanky die early. You want to be a small little Asian man. That's what you want. No, but as you grow old, you transform.
Listen. Would you want to transform into a small Indian man as you grow
old? No, Chinese. I've never seen an old Indian, but there's loads of old, wise Chinese men that are still nimble and quick with it.
The new title of, if you're watching a clip of this, is Would Bonnie Blue
travel to this
on
country?
North Sentinel Island?
Oh, right.
But we never found out the average size of North Sentinel Island.
Yeah, we didn't. So let's do that to tie that off. We did, because India was like 5, and it would just be the same as that. So their dicks are probably around 5 inches.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We need evidence though. So
yeah,
we'll know.
Yeah. So chuck on my phone and see if they send a pic.
Maybe Cretins will be the first to find out.
Yeah, that's a crazy thumbnail. You're just like there, like, and it's just dangling.
It's
next
dangling
to you,
above us,
and it's just like cutting through the entire frame. You don't even get the top or bottom of it. It's just like a trunk.
It's just no. It's both of us holding it out with 2 hands each, bro.
Well, what's the title? Like, no way! I found this about North Sentinel cock sizes.
How many videos could you make in this 24 hours?
Yeah,
you gotta go crazy.
You gotta dig deep and scrape the barrel.
You've got to make it worth it.
Yeah, you got to go into everything. You've not got long there, you know. So
yeah, you got to make sure you cover every single topic possible. So anytime anyone searches it up, your video will pop up.
That's why it's just us two going, and then on the opposite side of the island is Bonnie Blue. And then we can get that information from her.
What? So are we traveling with Bonnie Blue?
No.
Yeah, she's on a separate boat, I think.
Yeah.
Bro, what has Bonnie Blue created? That's what I'm asking. You know it's bad when you're like referred to as like this, like out of anyone you could think of, like.
You make it sound like she's created like some fucking new disease. She probably has, so to be honest.
She probably has, but
probably.
You know what I'm saying? It's like anytime you think of someone like who would be down to go to North Sentinel Island and make a video.
Anyone who's down to go anywhere and make a video is just her. Like the standard is just on the fucking floor, and it's been stepped on by everybody. So like, you know, yeah, of course she would. She'd go anywhere and do anything with anyone. It's fucking insane to be that human, you know. I mean, each to their own. It's her body. She can do what she wants. But yeah. Don't doubt she would go to North Sentinel.
If she had the chance, she would. Definitely.
And if the diseases weren't.
I would go too if I had the chance. Not to do what she would do, but you know. That'd be a crazier video.
That tribal pussy go crazy. Oh yeah, Cretins. It's like wife swap. Cretins. It's wife swap, but with North Sentinel Island. That's fucking mental, bro. That's fucking crazy, bro. Fucking at the end of the week, do they choose to swap wives or not?
Bro,
you know how you get away with that, bro? You know, you get away with that. You're like, yeah, I don't want to keep yours, but you can keep mine. And now you've just, now you can live a happy life, man. No more complaining.
What I'm thinking is, as soon as they get out and they start like feeling the modern comforts of life,
There's no way
they're not going to
back.
want anything different.
No. But as long as you don't
Like,
go back
so-
to collect your wife, you just don't have to deal with her anymore, you know? So, win-win.
I don't want to leave my wife there, man.
Yeah, I'm joking.
That's
That's getting cut.
Anyway,
That's
let's-
getting cut.
yeah.
Wow, what did you say at the end there? I don't know, but that's getting cut, everyone.
Anyway,
Anyway, I can hear some outro music. Do we have outro music? No, I can hear some
We don't.
music. I think I'm going crazy because I'm tired. This podcast is over.